Hey, Sean, how you doing?
Kyle, how's it going, buddy?
Good. We got a special podcast for you, folks. We have Reid coming back into the studio. Second time in the studio. He called in the very first time, had to feel the water, tested a little bit to see if we're legit, if anything, what?
For those of you fans out there, Reid, Buffalo Bills Fan of the Year and founder of 26shirts.com.
And we heard that he unveiled a vault section on the website where they're going to let all the previous designs, you can now get them anytime you want. Made to order.
All the proceeds go and help families that are struggling through certain things in their lives, and it's a great foundation. Dell's has been operating and working for the last 11 years.
Yeah, and you also will hear Herb, who brought a mason jar of some clear liquid. He called it lube, right? Is that what you called it?
Yeah, mason jars. They're really good at closing.
And keeping things inside.
Liquids in. Yeah.
What's the brand you're going to plug? Ball?
Mason.
Mason?
Oh, yeah, Ball. Ball is the one. Ball jars.
All right. What are you going to...
I don't know, Dell. Kyle had 1 million hits.
2 million. 2 million hits.
2 million hits on his
Tinder
viral...
account.
Kyle's had 2 million hits on his viral video. Have you ever gone viral?
This one time.
Anything we might recall?
Anything we might know?
Bills Mania.
That was the outtake. And then what did you end up going with?
I went with Mafia.
There it is.
Bills Mafia.
The creator and founder of Bills Mafia.
All right, folks. We hope you enjoy this episode. Thank you to Dell again for coming in, 26shirts.com. And thank you to our sponsors, MJB Electric, 716-465-5017, and Dr. Bob at 716-634-6272 or dudschiropractic.com. And that being said, go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
This is a Kmart production brought to you by Dudzik Chiropractic and MJB Electric. Welcome to ZaBillsPodcast. If this is your first time, we discuss the Bills games while we review 2 different Buffalo pizzas. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Listener's discretion is advised. ZaBills Podcast.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
And welcome to Zabills, where we talk football and pizzas. How you guys doing today? Sean from Nerds of the Old Republic.
Hey.
A nerdy podcast host. What's up?
Not much. How you guys doing?
Good. I'm good.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, when's the last time you were here?
It's been about a month, maybe more.
Were you here before Bills playoff football? After?
Might have been in the midst of it, or talking about football while it was happening.
Okay.
I don't think it's been since the season was over.
You remember
during
that?
The season. Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, we got a lightning storm going on, I think.
Yeah, it's been rough out there.
Yeah. Mike, welcome back. How you been? Neighbor?
I'm here.
Yeah?
Yeah. Ready for the season to kick off.
Hey, how's the missus' recovery going?
Good. She's doing better now.
Good.
Yeah. She's been walking with me, I'm sure you've seen.
She carrying in the groceries yet?
No.
Okay.
And you know what, Kyle? When she's fully healed, she won't be carrying in the groceries.
Okay. Special guest. He's been here 3 times. He runs a T-shirt company for charity. He is the Bills Fan of the Year 2024. 25? Yeah, 24, 25.
23.
23. Oh, 23. All right. Mr. Reid, welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. I had a lot of fun last time, so I'm happy to run this back with you guys.
It's great having you here.
You're Fan of the Year every year to us. Just so
Aww.
Thanks, buddy.
That's cute.
What's new at 26 Shirts?
Still putting out a shirt every Monday. 2-week campaigns. They all support local families in need. The past 6 or 7 months, we just launched the Vault, which has a lot of our previously run designs, hundreds of our previously run designs over the past 11 years, available on demand anytime.
Do you know your exact image count?
Image?
Like logo or shirt?
How many shirts have we done?
Actual design printed to date?
I don't know how many designs we've done. It's over 800.
Wow.
That's not counting the designs we've done in Pittsburgh, Chicago, Cincinnati, other cities as well. We're doing those for a while. We're starting to dip our toe back into other cities as well, but a lot. We've done a lot.
Wow. And how much money have you guys raised so far?
Over $2.1 million.
Wow. That's almost as many views as I got in my video.
Here we go.
I got something to work towards.
At least you're, well, never mind. Now, you said you go a shirt every Monday.
Yeah.
2-week campaign. So there's overlap from shirt to shirt to shirt.
Yeah. In 2020, we moved from doing it every 2 weeks to still doing 2-week campaigns, but launching them every other week. It was just frustrating because I remember thinking, you mean we can only help 26 families in a year? Got to be able to do better than that. So,
okay.
So now we're helping 52 families a year, different family every week, and then other opportunities for local nonprofits and charities as they arise.
So how does that? Was it easier going one shirt for 2 weeks than a shirt every week for your production team? Is it not make a difference?
It doesn't make a difference. We have too many ideas anyways. So we've got a whole cache on our Dropbox of designs that are kind of ready to go, just waiting for the right moment or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's been times, though, where it has been a little rough, what are we going to do on Monday? But usually we've got a pretty good, like I said, cache of designs ready to go.
And, the idea slipped me. I'll come back. Go ahead.
I'll
Please
jump
help me
in.
out.
Very rarely have I seen something in terms of a logo or a shirt, non-Bruins apparel, that I've said I have to have this. And I was on 26 shirts. I think it was the last time you came.
Hey, what are
here.
you wearing?
I'm wearing one of the designs
Oh,
of
man.
26 shirts, and
Nice.
I fell in love. I'm like, it's basically Simba as a young cub. But
Oh,
it's a
here's your
buffalo.
Disney coming out.
A little bit of Disney pre-Star Wars, and it's just the Bills blue. And I'm like, I know what, I'm going to get that. I'm going to wear that the next time I go to Disney. And there's a lot of Bills fans in Florida, and they're going to love this. And it's probably the last time I can remember falling in love with a piece of clothes. And I'm like, I have to have that one. And I went on that night and bought it. I'm like, because I know it's limited, right? After it's gone, it's gone. At least that was the model.
Yeah,
Until
that
the
was-
vault.
Yeah,
Until it's in the vault.
Yeah,
Until it's in the vault,
And
right.
that's why the vault's a beautiful idea.
right.
Yeah, but that one you're wearing there, the Bison King, we actually inducted that into our Hall of Fame a few years ago. So it's one of our best designs ever. Lorenzo Alexander once wore it after a game. And so a lot of people call it the Lorenzo shirt, even though we had sold it for several years before that. But he wore it and people started flipping out. And so we brought it back and it just exploded. So we just kept it.
Yeah, it's
pre-vault.
great.
It was always available now.
I'll wear it on special occasions,
Oh,
but I'm saving
special
it for that moment. Like when we go back to Disney, I already know I'm going to Animal Kingdom. I'm going to rock this.
I love people will actually. We've gotten a bunch of pictures over the years of a whole family wearing their Bison King T-shirts in front of the Tree of Life.
Yes.
And Animal Kingdom and everything.
I will be that next.
When are you going back?
August 4th.
Take a picture.
You know I'm
and
going
then
to.
put it on the X.
You know I'm going
and
to
tag them in there.
Make sure Dell sees this one.
Two more questions, Del. They're limited run. Do you have a preset number every design of how many shirts you print?
No, whatever. I mean, we sold over 12,800 of the Damar Hamlin T-shirt back in January of 2023. So yeah, as many as we can sell during that time. That's how many we'll print.
Oh,
because it's all pre-order. So
gotcha.
I learned early on in the Bills Mafia days. I remember we were doing some event. It was in 2012. We were doing an event, and I printed up all these Bills Mafia T-shirts because people are going to want these. And I had boxes of shirts in my basement for a long time after that. And then fast forward about a year later, I started telling my wife about this 26 shirts idea. And she was like, we're not doing this. No, we're not. And I was like, no. I learned it's going to be pre-sale. So now everything is done pre-sale.
Okay.
And then at the end of the campaign, however many we sell, that's how many we print. And that's what gives us the ability to offer hoodies and tank tops and every other kind.
Do you have any of those Mafia shirts left?
Not that specific design, no.
Oh, okay.
But it was actually our bird logo we had because it was based on the Twitter bird.
Oh, yeah.
And actually have it. Looks like that.
Okay. All right.
So got a tattoo of that. But so not a lot of people wanted that shirt, I guess. So,
Lessons learned.
Lessons learned.
And I've told you this story before, Del, but I ordered the I'm just here to see Jack, way back when. And I went to a meat raffle the night I got it. So I wore it, and I walk in and across the room, and I see another dude with the same shirt, and we made eye contact. We're like pointing at each other, like, hey. So we took a picture. I don't know if you remember. I sent it to you.
Yeah. That's the difference between men and women. Like, if a woman walks into a room and another woman is wearing the same outfit, mortal enemies.
Yeah.
A man walks into a room and another guy is wearing the same outfit, best friends the rest of their life.
Yep. I have a picture with this dude. I don't even know his name.
That's funny. Dal, is there anything new in Mafia Land?
New in Mafia Land. Well, we have the Mafia Con. We haven't officially announced it yet, but we're gonna have our second Mafia Con this July 19th. So I guess
on location.
You
Put
heard
that
it here
on.
first.
Oh
Yeah,
shit!
so
Where's it?
Seneca 1. We're gonna be at Seneca 1 this year. Very excited. Western New York Heroes was awesome. They hosted us last year, but we knew if we were gonna do a second year, we were right at capacity for what they were able to. They were so gracious. It was a great experience, but we knew that for the next outing that we were going to have a larger space. And so we've been meeting with Seneca 1, and we're very excited about July 19th.
What happens at Mafia Con?
It stays at Mafia Con. No, we have a bunch of local vendors, local exhibitors, all kinds of different things, all based on, Buffalo football fandom. So it was so great last year, just seeing all these different podcasts, and we'll have to have you guys be a part of it, podcasts and vendors, and like I said, like just different things going on. There's so much going on around being a Bills fan that has nothing to do with what's going on the field. Yep. So all of that was involved, and then in terms of on the field, we partnered with TSE, and we're going to do that again this year, and we had a bunch of player appearances. So we had Keon Coleman's first public appearance was at Mafia Con last year.
Oh, nice.
We had Cole Bishop, Terrell Bernard, Dwayne Carter. So we haven't. I can't start speaking to who's going to be there this year, but there's going to be a lot of recognizable names. We're really excited for it.
Do you have any poll for us?
Poll for you? Do you want to be on it? You want to be there? Is that what you mean?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
How do you get to? Is it something where you buy a ticket? Like, how do you?
Yeah, we sell tickets to the event and everything.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And then TSC has their own piece of it as well too, with signings and all that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, we could certainly have. We had live podcasts there last year, so let's get Zabills on there.
Oh, absolutely.
I just looked at my calendar. It's my daughter's graduation party.
Oh shit!
She's gonna be so disappointed.
When I'm not there. I mean,
This is an all-day affair.
Yeah, I think we ran it like 10 to 4 or 10 to 5 last year. I don't remember the exact.
Oh, Mike, you'll probably be after that.
I'm going to have to be the one setting up, cleaning up. But like I said, they're going to miss me. I'll be.
Yeah, right.
We're looking forward to having you.
Yeah. Okay, folks, Mafia Con, July 19th.
July 19th. Yep, Seneca 1.
I've never been in that building.
Be there, be square.
It's a really cool building. It's really cool, and I had never been in there until a couple of years ago. I was there for an event, but it's a beautiful lobby, and I don't even know the name of the room that we're going to be in. It's at the front of the building, but it's going to be a good time.
Awesome.
And it's air conditioned, so that was the only complaint. Literally, the only negative feedback we got last year was how hot it was, because part of Mafia Con was outside, part of it was inside.
Where was it last year?
At Western New York Heroes on East Delavan.
Okay.
They have a little event center and everything that we were able to use. And like I said, they were awesome. They were really great to work with. Obviously, they can't control the 88-degree weather or whatever it was. So, but it was an awesome experience. We're really looking forward to this year.
Can't wait. Sounds great. Herb, you ready?
Yep. I'm always ready. Let's do it.
When's the last time you were here, Herb? You remember when Sean from Nerds of the Old Republic was here, but you don't remember when you were here.
Yeah, no.
What was our last regular podcast?
It's at least a month, right?
Was it post Super Bowl?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we met once.
All right.
Yep.
I don't think I did that one.
So Herb, what is new with you? We're going to Skursky.
And no, you didn't, because Tim was in your seat. But
okay, yeah.
Yep.
No, just molding the young youths of tomorrow during the day and
that's scary.
God,
chasing tail at night.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, What are you gonna do?
I mean,
He's Herb.
we don't write this. Herb just comes. It just
There's
comes
two
out of
sides to everybody.
Herb. Like an alcohol on a hot day when he's sweating. It just comes out and it's fantastic. It's gold. It's gold, Herb. Zabills podcast memorabilia is just going to have a quote from Herb right there.
I
Love
hope
it.
not. He won't sell shit.
How's your chase going? Is it successful or
No.
no? No? Okay. All right. Well, at least you're honest.
Simple yet effective.
Okay, Sean, what's up with you?
Not a whole lot.
No?
Not a whole lot. It's just lay back, relax.
Chomping a bit for April break?
Can't wait to get there. It's like, yep. And then the school year's over, and then I get 2 months off.
You know, let's do a little check-in. How has your school year gone now that you're with the big boys?
Yeah, in the high school, it's been great. It's been refreshing after 7 years of being at middle school. And, I tip my hat to my wife who's been there her entire career, and I don't know how, but it's been good. Certainly great students, great location, great subject, and it's been a breath of fresh air, and I'm excited to go to work every day.
What do you teach?
U.S. history, 11th grade.
So does my wife.
Hey, where? Well,
And
don't say
Sweet
where.
Home. I don't care.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Sweet Home.
That's awesome. Yes.
Not Maurice. That's all that matters.
Yeah, totally.
Oh,
fine.
jeez.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
It's my first year teaching 11th grade. I've taught for 20 years, but my first go around at U.S. History 11.
Yeah, she loves it. She does 11 and 12.
Oh, it's perfect. Yeah. Seniors and juniors, ready. They're ready to be out. It's fantastic.
That's what I remember from high school.
Me too. It's like, oh, I'm done now. We're finished. But it's been good. It's been good, Kyle. What's new with you, buddy?
Well,
Any viral breakthroughs?
No. You know what's crazy is that it comes fast and it leaves quick. It's like a flash of lightning.
15 minutes of fame.
Boom, gone.
15 minutes of fame.
That's right.
That's all it is. It feels
right.
like 15 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool.
It's good.
Everyone saw our name.
Yes.
So
Millions, plural.
Millions
We could
saw our name, and hey, that's cool enough for me.
Yep.
Speaking of things you could put on a tombstone, Kyle comes fast and leaves quick.
Oh my God.
That's good.
There's a little delay there.
No, just talking about
All right, you guys have a good
viral
night.
Kyle over here.
All right. Anyways, so
About
Dal,
those Bills.
yeah. So Dal, give me some. We'll talk football for the rest of this episode now. Highlights, lowlights of this past season. We'll get just your overall summary, and then we can start talking free agency drafts, shit like that.
Yeah, sure. So, going into the season, nobody except I think for Bills fans thought the Bills were going to play as well as they did. Because I think about this past season, and there was so much negativity nationally going into it. That never really, I don't know about you guys, that never really sunk into me. With Diggs gone, I never thought they were going to miss a beat. I really didn't. I was not surprised to see them have the season they had or even start the season the way they did. It just never seemed like it was going to be that big of a deal. So the vindication, I thought, was good, but also, I don't know about you guys. I don't pay much attention to the national perspective anyway, only because there's a... You have these people who are acting like experts, and how could you follow 32 teams and know everything and every nuance about every single team? But anyways, it was great. It was great to see the team outperform national expectations.
Yeah.
Obviously, it didn't end the way that we wanted it to. I went to bed the night before the Chiefs game, and I had 3 different distinct dreams of them winning. I was so sure that the Bills were going to win that game. I was so sure.
Yep.
And then I think at the end of the first quarter, I realized that that's why they're dreams, not reality. And the rest of that, because weren't they down what was the score at one point? It was 21. I don't know. It was terrible. They did a great game, a great job of clawing back, but it just felt like they were fighting uphill the entire game just to get where they were. And then obviously the way it ended, super disappointing, super frustrating with the refs and everything. And the one thing I really enjoyed going into the Super Bowl was every Chiefs player having to answer questions from the media about the referees.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways, no fault of their own. They're just a player on the team. Whatever's going on is going on. But that felt a little. It was almost like the NFL just wanted the Chiefs to get to the Super Bowl, and after that, they're like, "All right, we're fine. Like, let them play." It's like, because they were barely winning every game,
right?
The whole season. But I don't want to talk about the Chiefs. But it was a fun season.
Yeah.
Josh Allen deservedly won the MVP award. I think right after he ran for that 51-yard touchdown or 26-yard, whatever. What was the was it?
Fourth
It was
down.
fourth down.
Fourth down.
Yeah.
However far that was. I think it was a 26.
28 or 26.
I think it was 26 because that
It's the
number
Chiefs.
obviously is a good number. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
But he ran for that touchdown, and like right then it's like, how does this guy not get the MVP?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
realistically, how does this guy not get the MVP? And it was frustrating leading up to the NFL honors because it felt like the goalposts were getting moved because last year Allen had better stats, yet Lamar passed quote the eye test, and so he got MVP. And then the whole discussion was, well, Lamar has better stats. It's like it's almost like you're getting gaslit through that whole.
The MVP discussion is exhausting and stupid.
Right?
Yeah.
None of us have control over it, and at the end of the day, it's the opinion of a bunch of writers anyway.
Yeah.
So,
and it's the same people as you're talking about that don't know enough about all the teams. It's the same blowhards that are on these stupid Fox Sports 1 shows. And
You're talking about our buddy Nick?
I don't know if he gets a
Can't
vote,
listen to him
but
at all.
He might get a vote.
people along those lines, I'll say.
Oh no, you went through who gets votes.
Yeah, I don't remember everybody. I don't remember Nick's name being on there though.
No, I don't think Nick Wright has a vote.
But you're right though. I was thinking about that. Like, what constitutes these guys as an expert? Like, are former players experts because they played in the NFL, or are they just personalities and they have fact checkers and people just writing down, like producers giving them, here's your material?
Who knows that? I mean, everything in the NFL, in the world, television is so overproduced. It's everything is planned and perfected. And I'm not, I mean, I was making those jokes about the refs. I don't want to believe that there's actually like some narrative that is, I don't think that it's actually scripted. But in terms of the presentation and everything with the people that are covering it, like there's always somebody in their ear. There's always somebody feeding them stuff, because how could there not be? You can't have, if you have a mind that is able to keep track of 32 teams and every nuance and everything that's going on, every movement, I really hope you're not using it on football and you're using it to like solve the world's problems instead of that, if you have that ability.
Yeah.
Well, those guys are some of them are former players. I think Acho.
Yep.
He's one of them. But they they're paid to cover football. That's their job. But they get paid because they get views and they get clicks. So a lot of it is if they can make it some sort of a dramatic story.
Hot takes.
Oh, is it Lamar? Is it Allen? And if it's a runaway like blowout candidate, it's not entertaining anymore. So they're trying. It's like the WWE. They're just trying to make it as dramatic as possible. So it's just entertainment.
And that's where I get frustrated when a blowhard like Nick Wright comes out and he says whatever he says that triggers everybody in the Bills Mafia. And then what do the Bills Mafia do? They retweet it and post it, and that's what they want. They don't care if you like what they say or not, as long as you get So I'm like,
right, Sean. They're feeding
any
the machine.
attention.
Yeah, he's
feeding the machine.
He's an interesting case, though. If you know, like 90% of the time, his takes are correct, which pisses me off. But he is not dumb when it comes.
He's
to
a
football
smart
analysis.
guy, and he knows how to piss people off.
He does.
That's his goal. But he also
his persona last year was, I'm the Bills guy. I'm picking the Bills unless it's against the Chiefs, and he kept glossing the Bills or glazing, whatever the kids say these days. And it just like he was right the whole year. And it's just interesting that he still generates such vitriol from people because he's so smug about his takes.
And of course
That's what
we're
it
talking
is,
about
the
this
smugness.
fucking guy. It's that his whole career, if the Chiefs just sucked, if Patrick Mahomes was a bust, he wouldn't even be on any of these shows.
His career just
his whole
depended on
career
them?
was made by the Chiefs being amazing.
well, he's a huge Chiefs homer. That's why. So
Yeah. It's like, I picked the Chiefs this week for every week. And lo and behold, he was right every time. Guy sucks. All right, next topic.
Before we move on, I'd be remiss. Del, you brought it up earlier. Before we kind of talk about the future, one more note about the past. Not to date this podcast, but April 3rd tomorrow will be the anniversary of the Diggs trade to Houston. So it'll be 1 year tomorrow.
What a weird trade.
Yeah.
The
timing was weird. We were in Nashville.
Very unexpected.
Yeah. And the fact that Houston basically gave up a second-round pick for a 1 year rental.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
I'll take it. I'll take it every time.
Yeah.
I'll take it
He
every
was
time.
on a 4-year deal, and they lopped the 3 years off of it.
That's crazy.
It doesn't.
What was that?
And I remember us thinking,
They
oh
know
my
he's
God,
a headache.
That was the disaster. I can't believe we did that. How did it happen? And it turned out a year later, we're sitting on our second-round pick.
Bean's cuts last year were a masterclass in hindsight.
Oh, yeah.
If you look at like every person he let go that was part of the core, quote unquote, they wound up either getting hurt or retiring or doing nothing
Yeah.
or getting
Not
their
one
free
of
agents
them
again.
came back to bite
Refresh
us
our
at all.
memories.
Oh,
Morse.
Mitch Morse
Bull
retired.
Davis. Well, we let Davis walk. Yeah, Poyer,
Diggs got hurt.
Trey,
Trey got traded. Again.
Diggs. Trying to think. There's probably a couple others. in
Morris,
there.
you said Morris, right?
Morris,
Yeah.
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 Hyde, Micah Hyde.
Yep.
He was kind of came back, but not
Yeah,
really.
No.
yeah, Hyde. Yeah,
But all then moving on from all that talent, and it was addition by subtraction. Everyone kept saying it, but like, man, people like doubt Brandon Bean. Just look at some of these moves he makes, and it's
He is so
Amazing.
good at managing a roster. Like
Yeah.
even you want to talk about who he let go, who he kept this year. Like the deals that he gets these players to sign, like Benford for
Yeah.
19 a year.
Yeah.
When
Great segue.
Stingley is making the money that he's making.
Yeah.
He's really good at managing a roster. First and second round picks.
Yeah, draft
see.
is-
But I am so happy that we have him as general manager.
he must have a really great palm tree farm somewhere.
yeah.
Yes.
I was gonna say, fuck Kevin Adams and his
Hold
freaking
on,
palm
hold on.
trees.
Yeah, well, yeah.
He has no
by that.
say. Like, you can't say that when all these guys are signing below market deals
And you
with the Bills. Same owner, same place. Like,
Winning is attractive.
yeah,
Oh, there you go.
the media spoke with Benford today. I don't know if you saw the interview.
I know I haven't seen
No.
And just about him resigning and all that stuff. And then Douglas came up. Russell Douglas came up, and he said he's been talking to him, and he's kind of hoping he'll come back, that kind of thing. Well, someone tweeted that interview. Douglas retweeted it and just said something like, "Hey, brother," with fingers crossed. So I don't know if that's something in the works there or not. I mean,
yeah.
you can't.
What's left on his deal?
Nothing.
He's a free agent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been sitting
He's
around.
he's not anywhere right now.
Good depth piece at this point. in his career,
Yeah,
I think,
bring him back nice and cheap. And if you can bring Benford back for that, you can bring Douglas back cheaper, I think. But
There's still some decent veteran corners out there.
Who?
Stephon Gilmore.
You would play him over Douglas?
who's the other one?
You'd play him over
Asante
Douglas?
Samuel Jr. He's not signed
Yeah.
yet, right?
I don't know. I don't know. It depends on. I mean, I haven't like watched Steph Gilmore the last year or two, but like, there's some guys that if because I think corner right now is the biggest weakness on paper. So they got to. If they don't draft somebody, there's a few backup options, I think, after the draft.
Okay, let's
that'll
not
be
get too
available.
far into draft talk. I know Sean's chomping at the bit here about draft. He's always about draft early in our progression of our pods.
I like it.
Free agent moves that we've made so far, not the guys we've extended. I'll start with Joey Bosa, the biggest name. I'm excited about that one. If he stays healthy, he played 14 games last year, and you got him on a 1 year, $12 million. I'm all about that deal.
Show me deal. It's a deal right there. You know, it gives you a name, gives you a confidence on the end right there. You know, he's motivated because he's going to be playing for his next contract. So you want motivated players. He's going to be joining a winning environment that could go deep, and you know, maybe he thinks in the back of his mind he might be the missing piece to a possible Super Bowl. Who knows?
Seems like a chill dude.
What I don't want is I don't want Von Miller 2.0. Like, I don't want this guy, no fault of Von Miller's, but I don't want this guy coming in game 5, he gets hurt. And then we're like, oh, God. we're doing this all over again.
Well,
but
Dennis says that if you're going to get hurt, you're going to get hurt.
It
doesn't matter when.
It's low risk. It's not like you signed him for 8 years at $1 billion. No, I like the signing. It's a really good signing. I think it's again a player who wants to come to Buffalo, take a little less money to possibly win.
Yep, and that goes right back to what Dal said about Bean and these contracts. You bringing him in, he could have made more money elsewhere. He could have got longer term elsewhere.
Right.
He
Could have played with his brother.
He was about to sign with the 49ers. At least the 49ers, I think,
thought that he was
they
about
were
to
going.
sign.
Oh, my God,
They
imagine
thought they were
that.
signing him, and then it's
Yeah.
okay, Floyd, you can walk, and then he signs with the Bills. And
Yeah.
Could you imagine that team? Bosa brothers on bookends.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
Yep.
So is everybody in favor of the Bosa deal?
I like it.
Yeah, generally.
He's 4 years younger than Von. I like that. Get rid of. I don't think Von was anywhere near an impact player this year. Bosa has a much better chance. He was wreaking freaking havoc in the playoff game against the Chargers. Or no,
Chiefs?
against the Texans.
Oh,
Yeah, he was beasting.
I'm hopeful that
That's what we need. We need him fresh for the playoffs.
Yep.
Which, we had 2 of our D linemen get suspended, obviously, so that might be a little tougher now. But if he's fresh for the playoffs, he can actually make a huge impact.
I'm hoping that he makes an impact on Rousseau and can get Rousseau to that next level,
Yeah.
that freak level,
And that was the idea with Vaughn.
right?
But if you can get, if Rousseau is getting doubled, and I don't even know what the percentage was of him getting doubled, but if we can either A, not have him doubled, or B, line him up on the weak side, Rousseau I'm talking about, man, you never know. You never know.
What's Epinessa's situation?
He just resigned, right? Didn't he just extend him?
No,
last
he's
year?
got a couple
no,
years
that
left.
was Rousseau. That was
Yeah.
Rousseau. Never mind.
Epinessa's got a few years left. I don't think he's really a cut
What's a few?
candidate.
What's a few?
We extended him last year, I think.
We
right?
signed him like a 4-year deal, like high-end backup type money.
Okay,
But
because that's more like what he is. He's a spell player.
Flashes of greatness.
Well,
That's
yeah.
it. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have 5 DNs on the roster that are not getting cut already.
5.
Yeah, we have Rousseau,
Yeah.
Hoyt, the guy we just signed for
How
the
is
Rams.
his name pronounced Hoyt when it's Hoechd?
I think it should be pronounced like Jochen Hesht.
You're right.
I think it's spelled the same.
Just call him backhand.
Yeah. Yeah. Epinesa, guy we drafted in the 5th round last year.
Solomon Carter.
Solomon. And there's one other D end.
Did you say Bosa?
Oh, Bosa, of course. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's talk about those 2 guys that are going to have a nice 6-week vacation. Are these guys going to be, I know, like the Rams guy, Hoyt, is he going to be an impact player?
in week 7.
Okay. Yeah, right.
I like the looks of him, man.
He's
loved
very
it, yeah.
versatile.
Yeah.
So why don't they make these guys, when they're free agents and they're, they want to come back, right? They're not going to retire and all that kind of stuff. Why don't they make them drug test before they sign with the team?
Well, Hoyt, they knew was going to be facing a 6-game suspension.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
And they
Him.
still signed him.
He disclosed it, but
Him,
Ogunjobi
yes.
did not.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I'm sure I'm the minority. I don't care because I want these guys ready and primed to go for the playoffs. We're not a
The
team.
Bills never
gotta
take the
get there.
first 10 games seriously
not
anyway.
Yeah, we're not really a team that should be in a position where we're clawing to get in the playoffs. I need a team that's going to be rested and well equipped and healthy to win it when it really matters.
That's fair. Okay.
The Hoyt one
I
doesn't bother
mostly
me.
agree, yeah.
Because he's supposed to be that very versatile back, and
Right.
that's exactly what our defense needs.
It's a multi-year deal, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't need to keep sticking with this too high safety thing all the time. Like, we got to be able to show some flex, and he's going to help be a piece of that. The Ogunjobi guy bothers me because he tried to hide it.
Yeah.
And
So
like
it's
that-
a 1-year.
And he's a 1-year deal.
So,
Yeah.
It's not even a 1-year deal. It's a 11-game plus
right.
playoffs deal.
Yeah.
so is that a situation where if Bean decides to get aggressive and his man's on the board for a D tackle, he jumps up, grabs his guy, could they let that guy go? Ogunjobi or whatever his name is?
I don't think they would.
He's probably got a good amount of guaranteed money, but well, the other thing with Ogunjobi is they have 2 different positions basically at D tackle. Like
The one tech.
yeah, well, Ogunjobi's more of like the 3 tech, like Ed Oliver is, and like the guy we drafted in the 3rd round last year, the Duke guy, Carter. So we need that big, huge, fat, space-eating defensive one tech. Defensive one tech defensive
Dude, you
tech.
keep saying his name.
Pat Williams.
He's an offensive lineman.
I was about to say, wait a minute.
Wait, who do you say?
House Ballard.
Oh,
Double helmet.
I remember how
no,
big
Pat
that guy
Washington and Sam Adams.
No,
Yes.
Those
What
types.
about Ted Washington?
Yes.
Ted Washington too.
Refrigerator Perry.
All of them.
No, it wasn't Pat Washington. It was Pat Williams.
Pat Williams. Sorry.
Real quick, because I know AJ Epinesa is listening.
You got him on speed dial there?
No. After 2025, he has a void in his contract. So, whatever that means. But
It could be a free.
it's like
sides
something
or
with like within like 20 something days of the 2026 and 2027 years automatically void 23 years before the 2026 league year. So I'm not a capologist like Greg.
Herb,
Thomas,
what does that mean?
But
So they gave him a couple void years to lower the cap hit, but then the void years count on those years.
So
like,
all they're doing is just keep on pushing it back.
yeah, so like you could give a guy a 1 year $6 million deal, but if you give him 2 void years, he could count $2 million against the cap, and then the next 2 subsequent years he counts $2 million against the cap those 2 years.
Damn.
He's got like 1 year left on his deal, essentially.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. He gone.
He go. So I mean he could get cut if we drafted like 2 defensive ends or something.
Yeah.
But I want to say this draft is loaded, and I mean fucking loaded with fat one tech D tackles.
All right. Hold on. We got a couple more.
There's a
players.
464-pound guy.
I saw that guy.
Can he move?
Hell
yes,
yeah.
Didn't you run like a 5?
He ran like a
240 or
5'8".
something?
He ran a
5'8",
5'8", but they're like,
He's
if
an
you
athlete?
account for his size, he's like the fastest man ever.
like on a curve.
Yeah.
He's 460 pounds.
He's 6'6", 464 from Florida.
Do you remember Michael Jasper for the Bills?
Yeah, I remember him.
He's
Yeah.
a big dude too. He was athletic.
This guy looks like an iceberg, though. It's like
Pull up a
he's
picture.
like he's
Pull
not
up a
much
picture
of
of this
above,
guy.
but he's like just this huge,
Yeah.
like triangle shaped guy. He's just
Yeah.
Wow.
They gave him a couple carries last year, too. Short yardage.
Fridge Perry.
Could have used him against the
Tush
Chiefs.
push.
Yeah.
Tush push.
That's a lot of push.
Sean, imagine running into that guy with your mascot stuff
Oh my
on.
God, I'd be dead.
Yeah, you couldn't run.
did.
You couldn't run the tush push if you stick that guy in the middle.
It's a big man.
That's a big
He
dude.
takes up a lot of.
No
zip
one could
code.
run the tush push on us if we drafted him.
I don't want to get too far off topic, but did you see the NFL is not banning the tush push?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna bring
Yeah.
up all the
good.
rules.
Sorry, Kyle.
changes.
It's good for
they
us.
tabled it. They did not do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like we're safe for another year.
Hey, at least we're bringing in Canadian players.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we brought in a
the border.
couple Canadians.
Hoyt,
Palmer.
right? And then Palmer.
Palmer.
What does everybody think about
Yeah.
Palmer? A guy who statistically has decent separation.
In the CFL? Is that where he's from? I'm asking you.
No, he's from the Chargers.
Oh.
He's
No,
Canadian
Chargers,
born.
Josh
Oh, I got you.
And so is Hoyt.
Oh, Josh Palmer, duh. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I think last year proved to me that it doesn't matter. You could put me out there in a friggin' wideout position. Josh Allen's going to make it work.
Yeah.
Just don't put Dell out there; he won't catch it.
Yeah,
That's mean.
but there was
15 minutes. They didn't show one pass, one catch.
This is like therapy for you.
A 15-minute
not. It's the
highlight reel
opposite.
of all your best catches.
I'm gonna crawl into a shell.
Just get it off your chest. Tell.
But Sean, the one criticism was of the Bills receivers last year was they didn't get great separation.
We still scored more points than any other time in franchise.
Well, that's true.
We score points. It doesn't matter. The defense is our biggest Achilles heel.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. Josh Allen is nuclear. Like, he will do whatever it takes to win. It doesn't matter.
We're putting up
who's there.
30
Very
points
true.
every game, right?
Yes.
And if our defense play, think about that the Rams game,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
All those, the Detroit game, I know we won, but still, look at all those points that were scored against us, right?
right.
I mean, if we can continue that offense like you're talking about, and even if the defense is marginally better,
Right.
We're in good shape.
All our losses except for the last
field goal
game.
or touchdown fewer.
Yeah.
One stop. It's one
That's three
stop
losses.
and it's the Super Bowl.
3 less losses.
Yep.
As for Palmer, I think he can do at least what Amari did last year. Amari was pretty freaking quiet last year.
Is that jar empty?
It's gone.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been
You go.
No.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Palmer's a better deep threat than Amari has been. And
Is he a better deep threat than Keon?
probably. I mean, I think Keon's
Keon's a different kind.
Keon's got to get better.
Totally
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
receiver.
Yeah.
But weren't they sending him down the sidelines?
No, well,
20,
sometimes
25
they
yards.
were. But that's not his primary. His primary is they want a one-on-one fight for the ball, bring it down.
Yeah, because that was not coming out of college. That was not what he was known for, was separation. I remember Joe Marino on Locked
Yeah.
On Bills was like, this guy is not a separation guy.
Yeah.
He's a big body in the red zone.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you look at any of Keon's, even his highlight reel, it's just all super contested catches.
Yep.
He's got to get better at route running. He's super young. We drafted him. I think he was still 20 when we drafted him. So he's just got a lot of work to do to refine this. It seems like Bean and McDermott are kind of challenging him this offseason to have because you see a lot of guys jump from year 1 to 2 and get a lot better.
Was it just me that saw that most of the deep balls Josh threw last year went to either Knox or Kincaid?
Yeah.
Like, they're the guys that are usually getting penetration down the field. I don't know if it's because the wideouts are so well covered or something, but, I mean, they've usually got an answer, right? They get everybody eats, right? That's the mantra.
Yeah. No,
That's fair.
I think they needed a deep threat. They needed a deep threat and a separation receiver. And hopefully Palmer will give them a little bit of that, but they still need another guy.
With Cooper, and I don't watch the all-22s, was he pulling coverage at least, though? Is that, like, I know he didn't get a ton of balls, but was he pulling coverage and opening up opportunities for other receivers?
I think a little bit, but he needed to also be getting open too. You need an X receiver that pulls coverage and can beat the coverage.
Well,
because I think he was just doing the first a little bit.
At the end of the day, I mean, he was a part of that amazing touchdown with Josh had against
I
the
was just going to bring
so
that
the trade
up.
was worth it.
He was double covered in that one.
Yeah.
He was double, and it was only 2 yards from the end zone. He was double covered in that one, and he still made that happen. But
Yeah.
yeah,
that was awesome.
And they were banged up last year. That receiver core, I don't think gets a lot of credit for fighting through it. Kincaid was fighting something. Cooper was never 100%. Samuel missed most of the season with an injury, but when he was somewhat healthy for the playoffs, he was very productive.
Poyer took out Coleman.
Right. Yep. And he was never the same after that.
Isn't Curtis Samuel more of a separation guy when he's healthy?
Yes.
So there's another option there, too.
I don't think they could really, for whatever injury he had.
Wasn't it turf toe early on, and then
Turf toe's
that
a
could
rough
linger.
one.
Yeah.
It lingered for the majority of the season.
Didn't that end your pickleball career early?
No, I'm still going hard,
Okay,
man.
all right.
I'm still fucking killing it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Many are saying I'm playing the best pickleball of my career.
It's the sauna.
yeah.
Do you think the Bills will have a everyone eats mentality next year?
Absolutely.
100%.
Until they get their true number one, then
I think even when they have a true number one, they will be. I think that this is the environment that they've tried to establish here, and I think they're going to stick with it, even if you get in. Unless you're going to go out and get
Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, that might be a little different, but you're not going to get Justin Jefferson. So even if you're drafting a guy that ultimately may turn into a Diggs Jefferson type of player, he's coming in, everybody eats. You better get used to it.
Dell, quick question. Did you do anything with 26 shirts with that motto, with that kind of like...
Yeah, we did a shirt, and then we actually we have a subscription box that, it's an exclusive shirt that, only the club level is what they're called. Club level members get. And we send out a shirt every month.
Oh,
and,
shit.
Thanks for the commercial. We send out a unique shirt that you can only get through the subscription every month. And then a couple little, extras. And one of them was we actually we did a wooden spoon. And on the wooden spoon, it said "Everybody Eats," and it had a little buffalo on it.
Oh,
So that was
awesome.
That was one of our giveaways. Yeah,
Nice. A monthly box.
yeah.
Wow. How much is that?
$49.99 a month.
Okay. Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
26shirts.com.
I got a wild draft idea.
Ooh.
Are we going right to we're done talking free agents?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, whatever.
That's
I'll
fine. Go
I'll
ahead.
talk
Go ahead.
free agents.
Okay. What
so
do you got?
Travis Hunter is both an elite cornerback and an elite receiver.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give up anything to get him.
Anything.
Yes, he's both those things.
Anything draft collateral.
Whoa.
Yeah,
whoa.
draft wise. Draft wise.
Would you play him both sides of the ball in the NFL?
Yeah. So what I would do is I would play him as your number one wide receiver and then put him on at like, say it's like 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 8 or something. He's in at corner too. So he's not only your best receiver, he's also a stud corner.
You know what? Brandon Bean would go for that because he loves consolidating roster players. Right?
Yeah,
he
would.
He a guy that has actual roster players playing a lot of special teams.
Yeah.
Like Matt Collins was, I think, always on a special team.
And laid out one of the best hits on special teams this season. So
yeah.
there's that.
You know
Now,
what?
Petition.
Let's start a petition.
We have almost no chance to get him.
Let's go to change.org.
Yeah.
And put that on there.
I already offered my buddy who's a Giants fan a first and second this year and a first and second next year, and he immediately declined.
For this guy?
For the 3rd pick for him.
Who do you think the first two are going to be?
Well, one is going to be, it looks like Cam Ward's going to the Titans.
Really? I just saw something today that the Titans are going to take that kid from Oregon.
Who? Wait. No, I don't know.
It's going to be Cam Ward.
I think they're taking Cam Ward, the quarterback.
Yeah.
And then 2 is Carter?
2 is the Browns, who are taking either Carter or Hunter, the guy I want. So that's the other guy. So I would say there's 2 elite players in the draft. Very elite.
Hey, you heard excuse me, did you hear the Browns are building a new stadium? Or talking about building a new stadium?
I saw there was like a AI thing.
Yeah, they're gonna put a dome inside the stadium so no one can see them play.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart.
So you would give up that much for this guy?
I'd give up, yeah. I don't know.
When's the last time you've seen a player like this, Dion?
Well, his son's in the draft.
Yeah, but a two-way
Dion,
player.
yeah.
I know what you mean, but it's coincidence.
It's similar to Dion.
Okay.
I think Dion was a better corner, and this guy's a much better receiver. But you don't see it much where a guy can
Too
be
bad it
that
wasn't flip-flopped.
impactful.
Too bad he wasn't a better corner than a wide receiver because we could use a corner more than a wide receiver.
Well, there's still like people. Some people say he's a better corner. Some plays a better receiver. So
okay. Well, let's go draft. Dell, what should the Bills do? What do they need to address, and how do you see them addressing it?
So full disclosure, and I think I was saying this before we started recording. Since the Bills have gotten good, I haven't paid as much attention to the draft, which is awesome. It's so cool. And even back when I was paying attention, 2 weeks after the draft, all the names left it was like all stored in short-term memory.
Yeah, I hear it.
But
not names, just like positions-wise.
I would think either defensive tackle or corner.
First.
Those are the 2 biggest needs in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Anyone else agree, disagree, want something else?
They should go for a quarterback, obviously.
Somebody mentioned that.
I was going to say minus a quarterback, best available player. Because I think that we're at that point across our roster now where maybe with the exception of defensive end because we have a ton of them, best available player. Who's out there? Who's on the top of your board right now?
Show of hands, who actually thinks that Bean is going to use all 10 picks?
No.
I don't think so either. They don't have enough roster spots.
Yeah, no.
Like I would be cool with using 10 picks to get 3 guaranteed starters that are going to make a difference, or 4.
Of course, yeah.
I could see Bean doing multiple trade ups. I could also see a move where, like, somewhat similar to last year, where we traded out of the first round to get an early second round, but then we also added a third round in the deal. And like maybe gave up a first and a fifth for a second and a third, something like that. I could see that. I think we're gonna be picking on day 2 a few times. I mean, we already are twice, but I think it's going to be a lot of picks in there.
How aggressive is he going to be in the first round? Is he going to go up quite a few spots?
Well, he could if he's got the ammo to make a trade up.
Absolutely,
easily. If there's a corner we love, or if there's a D tackle we love. Or anything else.
Or
wide out.
No, I'm just playing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you never know. Who knows? Cook could be traded on draft weekend.
I was just going to say.
I've thought about that, to be honest with you. I've thought, like, what are they going to do with this? Because they have him for 2 more years because he has this year coming up, and then they could franchise him if they wanted to. Or they can, his value is pretty high. As high as it's probably going to be, right? I mean, the way they use him, it's so I can't see them using him differently next season than they did this previous season. At which point he's going to have more tread on the tires than he does now. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with him because he's being pretty vocal in terms of his expectations. And I'm sorry, I'm not a $15 million a year running back.
I feel like he broke an unwritten Bills rule. Like, you just don't negotiate in public, and I think that's a big thing for Bean. And I think that immediately put him on the trading block. Like, he's looking at packaging him with a pick maybe or two, and then moving way up in the draft. I think that's the way to do it.
Yeah,
he's not Saquon. No, right? He's not Henry. He's a good back.
2 downs.
We have other good backs. You can get more good backs.
Well, and if his career goes anything like his brothers did,
exactly,
he was excellent for a few years and then nothing.
And no shade, like he was great the previous.
100%.
I mean, he's been great.
Yeah,
but at least in terms of how the staff is using him, he wasn't even on the field at the end of the game against the Chiefs.
Himself out.
So I did he take himself out or was
I thought he tapped the helmet and took himself out.
I can't remember if that was the case, but regardless, they've done a pretty good job of finding running backs the past several years. Did I see that Blackshear's back? Did I see that?
That I didn't.
I didn't see
he's like
that.
the preseason wonder. I thought,
I remember that.
I could be wrong, but I thought they re-signed him. I don't know. I just think that
this is also the best running back class in like so long. There's 15 running backs in this class.
Well, we all know which one's going
first. Starting running backs in the league.
Genti or whatever his name is.
Genti will go high.
I saw a picture of him the other day online. He's a freak like DK Metcalf. That dude is huge.
Yeah, he's going to be good.
Now, the other side of the coin is the NFL does seem to be moving back towards a run.
Yep.
I wouldn't say run-centric, but at least using the run
70-30, 60-40, something like that.
So, I don't know. We'll see how it shakes out. Thankfully, that's Bean's headache and not ours.
I'll gladly push back a little bit because I think this year I was like, I got to bring one up. I'll gladly push back a little bit and take the opposite view with Cook.
This pushback is brought to you by MJB Electric. For any residential needs, call Mike at 716-465-5017.
Bring it, Mike. Absolutely. I'll just say it. Like, not only has he taken a step every year since he's been drafted, he's kind of been a reliable back. He stayed somewhat healthy. This 3-back system that they ran last year seemed to be perfect. All of them were relatively fresh going into the playoffs. Mm-hmm. I think he's got the potential to be a Saquon Barkley down the road. He's not there yet.
Who?
Cook.
No, what? Never mind.
Saquon Barkley.
Saquon.
You know what I mean.
You can't say anyone's names.
Burrows. So I think there's I don't think we're going to push him out immediately. I don't think even Bean's thinking that right now. I agree with Sean over here, the other well-named member of our panel here, that it puts the Buffalo Bills in an awkward situation to do this stuff in public. But I wouldn't cut bait immediately with this guy. Because he's proven to be something. Again, he's taken a step every year. I think he still has a step or two. And he certainly does. Special.
He certainly does, and that's part of like why he has value.
Right.
If they keep it, I'm not advocating for them to trade him.
Right.
Just for the record, but I can see it happening.
He's gone.
Yeah. One more point though. I'm never going to tell or stop anyone from trying to get what they think they deserve. Mm-hmm.
Ain't happening here though.
I get it, and I do get it. And with Josh Allen's your quarterback, that again, money's got to be allocated in certain spots. That being said, so I'm not as offended as some other people might be with Cook, maybe brandishing his elbows just a little bit to get a little bit more because the window for these running backs is limited.
Right.
Unlike any other position.
I'm going to push back on your pushback, though.
I'm glad you're going to.
Do it.
Yeah, because
hit him.
I think he's plateaued. I think that's as good as James Cook's going to get.
Damn, plateaued.
I think the offensive line gets a lot of credit for his stats.
Correct.
And they don't really get brought up much. I don't want to say it's plug and play because he is a good back and he can find holes.
Don't cut yourself short. I think it is a plug and play because I think Ray Davis, if he had the amount of touches that Cook did, I think he'd be almost as good.
I think we've got a good running back pipeline, and I just don't think Cook's a $15 million back. Like 8, 9, maybe 10,
maybe 11, maybe 11.
I think you're stretching it even there.
Maybe 12.
Well, 15. Why not?
Well, does that fall right in the middle of the everyone eats? Because if you're going to spend $15 million on a running back, that's that much less for other spots, right? And you look at these guys like Benford.
And you have 2 other running backs, too.
Right, who took a hometown discount.
I'm going to push back again.
Oh, my God.
Because you're never going to go halfway. I think I'm really deserving $8 million.
This pushback is brought to you by a glass of Shut the Hell Up.
But you know what? I'm gonna go higher, and hopefully we come down and meet at a happy middle.
Okay, and you know I do that in my own work, right?
Right,
You ask for more,
right.
But how much lower is he going to come down if he's publicly out
Demanding
there?
15.
Because now if he takes 8, someone said 8, so if he takes 8,
That looks like a bitch.
right?
Right. Anybody in the great city of Buffalo would gladly take that contract, especially. Listen.
Josh Allen didn't.
I get it. I get it. But you know what? We've
I'm
got
available for $1 million per year.
There it is. There it is. We've got one Josh Allen.
I'd play for 80.
And after that, the franchise is sunk. We're rolling out 3 backs, and he can understand that. He's not going to be the guy all the time. He doesn't need to be the guy all
Aren't
the time.
you proving yourself wrong here?
I get it.
Why are we paying him $15 million?
There it
He's
is.
not the guy.
Well, that's what the selling point. I'd be like, listen, I'd be like, you want to be part of a team. Everyone eats. Come on in here. We're going to give you a reasonable deal. You're going to make your money.
And I think Bean offered him that. Based
Are you
on
pushing
Bean's,
back yourself?
A little bit.
Based
Okay.
on Bean's
I'm very
press
confused.
conference, he offered him a deal of some kind, which kind of falls probably in line with these other guys. You got Benford, Bernard, Shakir, Rousseau. Every one of them took a little less than what, if they were full free agents,
Right.
they would have got more than that. All of them, easily. But what they're sacrificing is a few $1,000,000 average per year, but they're also getting that security. They're getting set for life.
Yeah.
They're getting how many millions guaranteed, all of them. And they're sticking with their team, but they're not taking if I'm on the open market deal. They're taking a few million less to have that security. Because if any of them blows out their knee next year, they're getting so much less.
Well, let's be honest.
But
They got to be taking the I'm on Josh Allen's team discount.
Also, but like running receiver, defensive end, these guys can play until they're 35. Maybe not to the level they're playing right now. How many 35-year-old running backs are out there? So these guys have like somebody to play advocate for James Cook.
That's what you were trying
He's like,
to do.
I've got to make my money
Now.
while I can make my money. Like, I'm glad that you guys took hometown discounts. You can play well into your 30s. Right. Running backs, like we hit the wall and we're done. Like, we have a shelf life, unlike any other position in the league.
Right.
And I agree, but I don't think the best way to go about it was to tweet.
I 100% agree with
give
that.
me $15 million.
For sure.
Like that. None of the other guys
Bad
did
luck.
that. Like, that's just you can go through the back channels. Like, that's what he should have done. But like, to just be like tweeting from your account that I want $15 million
And immediately after the season was over, it's like, give us a second
like
to
right
breathe.
away. Yeah.
I think Brandon Bean's got all the cards in his hand right now.
Oh,
And that's
absolutely.
the best thing is he can play him another year. He's still got the rookie contract. He's going to have to play if he wants to get paid anywhere.
Yeah.
If there's a team that is desperate for a running back and they got a higher pick and they want to wheel and deal, he can do that. He can franchise tag him. He can let him walk in free agency and just roll Davis or something next year. Like he has no bargaining power right now, really, when you think about it.
That's why this whole situation is
Weird.
That's the only word to use. Is weird. It's like, what are we doing?
Someone got in his ear, his brother or somebody got in his ear about
his
it.
agent's got to
His mama.
do better than that. Like, you can't just be like, oh, I'm going to tweet that I want $15 million. That's not.
And
the
for all we
way-
know, his agent, every time he puts that Instagram story up or tweet, his agent's like, "What are you doing?" We don't know.
Yeah.
We give Beat a lot of credit. My point I want to get across is that I don't think that soiled the well. I don't think that poisoned the well. I think he can overcome the tweet, A lot of NFL players do it.
Oh, yeah.
They take to social media. They learn a real quick 30-second apology. Hey, I apologize for putting it on there. Solves the entire problem. Yeah.
So when's that apology coming out?
For who?
Once we sign
talking
him.
about Cook?
Yeah,
It's
maybe
after the-
when
it's
we
after
sign
whatever
him,
contract he
you don't got to
signs.
throw it on social media. You learn from me, hey, I apologize. You just go to a
Yeah.
person, give him a call.
Herb,
You see it all the time on social media. These guys are popping off. It was Brandon Ayuk last year.
Yep.
And, it doesn't seem to work. I mean, it did actually work. Brandon Ayuk got a big-ass contract by tweeting about all off-season about how he wants a big-ass contract, and he got one. So sometimes it works.
Herb, who in the draft is in need, ahead of us, in need of a running back?
Oof. A lot of teams.
Okay, so Cook could be some bait.
I think, well, the thing, like I was saying, the running
And then
backs,
they draft a running back in the later round.
you can draft a starting caliber running back this year, the third, maybe even the fourth round.
Really?
You could draft a really good running back prospect in the third and fourth round this year.
Give me some names that aren't Giante. Or what teams?
Well, the guy I really like is out of Travion Henderson out of Ohio State.
Oh, I know him. Yeah.
This guy is freaking explosive.
Yeah.
We kind of, me and my scouting team compared him to Reggie Bush.
Okay.
He's a stud, and he can pass block, and he's fast.
The Ohio State.
Yeah. So, yeah, I love that guy.
Okay.
I mean,
I know him. I've watched him.
I would be fine with us taking him at 30 and trading Cook for mid-second round pick. I'd be cool with that.
You want to take this kid first pick?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying. I'm not saying they would have to be two moves that happen at this. They have to be connected. I would not take any running back. I don't know if I would draft a running back at all if they're not trading Cook.
Okay.
That's the only way I would
Yeah,
draft
yeah.
a running back at all.
And I just want to go on the record and say that I don't want them to trade Cook. I want this guy to
Yeah,
be here. I want him to play
I'd
well.
love to sign
Yeah,
Cook to a $12 million a year contract, 11, 12. But if he's demanding 15, then
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Is
Well,
Frank
if
Gore
that's-
Jr. still out there?
Is who?
Frank Gore Jr. still out there?
Still on the team.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
There you go. We got options.
That's in
All
the
right.
blood.
So they got to go D tackle, cornerback, safety.
They still need another wideout. Those are the
Another
big four
wideout?
for right now. Yeah, because they lost Amari and
Hollins.
Hollins, and they brought Palmer in.
Yeah.
So they're still one wideout short.
Dell, did you get a chance to meet Mac Hollins?
I did not.
That barefooted son of a...
I didn't. Someone from the Bills training staff reached out to us, and we did a shirt for him, but I never got to meet him specifically.
Okay.
Kind of a bummer. He'd be a fun one to meet.
Yeah, he seems...
I wouldn't know. I don't know if I would know how to interact with him. He's such a unique cat. I don't know. I'd be
You
like,
should make Mac Hollins socks. But they're like
Look like barefoot.
I
they're
get it.
clear.
It's irony.
clear.
that's actually brilliant.
Yeah.
It's going to be weird playing New England twice this year because they got Diggs and
Hollins, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not.
He doesn't care. He doesn't think they're on the map.
I don't think they're.
He
on the
doesn't
map
think
at
they're
all.
going to be on the map
Kyle's
this year.
insisting they're going to be number 2 in the division.
Yeah,
I think they're still going.
I heard your take in the last cast there. Yeah, I think they're going to be better.
Oh, you listened?
I do listen.
You listen, Herb doesn't.
I listen every time.
Not a fan. Yeah.
It's the only other cast I listen to.
Aw.
But I think New England's going to be better. I think they might even be like an 8-9 team.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think Diggs or Hollins really moves the needle for them too much.
I don't know.
You know how we know who the opponents are for the schedule, but obviously we don't know the schedule yet. 10-1, we open against New England.
I think so. Oh well, Diggs. Yeah, so.
That's why.
Oh, yeah.
So
And
I'll tell you why we won't. Because
The Chiefs?
it's prime time. Buffalo's probably going to be the kickoff. They're probably not going to open up against them because Buffalo's probably going to be.
Wouldn't the Eagles be the
prime time.
kickoff?
yeah, the Eagles will be the kickoff. It'll just be a matter of who the opponent is.
Oh,
but-
we opened that one year we played Los Angeles.
The Rams.
Yeah,
So
'cause
the
the-
opening
yeah.
game.
the Rams
Yeah.
won the Super Bowl though.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
no,
was there.
there's- yeah.
I'm talking just week one. I'm not
yeah.
saying open the whole season, but I'm saying week one, I could see them but again, it being a primetime game, whether it's a Thursday or a Sunday or whatever,
but
Monday,
Tuesday.
But the NFL loves all this shit, right?
Oh, of course.
And they're going to be like Bills Diggs, and they'll promote that.
Don't forget, though, he's coming off an ACL.
Yeah, that's true. And
And-
they didn't do that last year.
Yeah,
they
they
knew
had the
they had
chance
plenty of
last
time
year.
to have Diggs for game 1 against the Texans. They
We
didn't
all
do it.
thought the Bills Texans would be a primetime game last year, and they put us at a 1:00 game. That was wild.
Could be Baltimore. We got to play Baltimore.
That would be good.
At home. That'd be a good.
There's a lot to
season
choose
opener.
from.
Since we were kind of a little bit on the schedule, I don't know how close you guys have looked. Our home games are going to be tough next year.
I got them right here.
Yeah.
Why don't you list them for us?
Rattle through the home and the away separately if you can, because in my opinion, the home games are the worst.
Home games, which does give us an advantage, though. So you got to remember that.
Under 3 points.
Well, you got the division opponents. Then you got Baltimore. You got Cincinnati, Kansas City, New Orleans, Tampa Bay, and Philadelphia.
Shit.
Sounds like 8-0 to me.
Although our away games are those
away-
are soft as hell, man. We got the Browns, the Steelers, the Texans, the Falcons, and the Panthers, and then the division.
It just dawned on me we're going to get another crack at Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
That's going to be
did
amazing.
He doesn't sign in Pittsburgh just yet, right?
No.
Where else is he going to go, though?
Yeah.
I don't think
Well,
they're
he
going to
might
take him.
he
I don't
might
think
take a
they will.
year off now. I don't know if you saw
He
that.
wants to go to
Year off.
Minnesota. He wants to go to the Vikings so bad, and
Why?
they don't want him.
The Brett Favre trifecta.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking at that
That's the
home
only reason he
schedule.
hasn't signed with the Steelers. He wants to go to the Vikings,
Why?
and the Vikings keep saying they don't want him
Why does he want to go to the Vikings?
Dome.
because
There's many
Jefferson
domes.
and I mean they have good weapons. They probably have the best.
Not
they give him the
Buffalo,
best
though.
chance to win.
It's the only team in the NFC North that might have an opening at quarterback.
Yeah.
Does he have a connection?
Well, they-
with
Yeah,
Bell?
that too.
You
Yeah,
know,
he can
seriously,
play
'cause
against
he's
the
not going to
Packers
Detroit,
twice. Yeah,
and he's not going to Chicago.
yeah.
So if he wants to play against the Packers twice,
Yeah.
it has to be the Vikings.
I don't think that coach wants anything to do with him, though.
If he's smart.
Well, they
I've been predicting him to the Vikings for like since the start of last year,
Have you
and
been
now,
tweeting
like,
that? Do you tweet that, Herb?
I don't tweet.
Oh,
I don't
do you
X.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you right now, that coach is
I
blocked.
mean, I am on there
he wants
for my
multiple
sports
guys.
news.
Well, and they've already thrown their support
Yeah.
back behind McCarthy too. So
Yeah.
He wants
They
a
need
quarterback
one.
to play
Their
the
O
system.
line is not that great.
I'm looking at the home schedule. I'm thinking Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Philadelphia are the only ones that are kind of a toss-up to me. But everything else up there is very beatable.
Kansas City.
We're going 8-0
We
at
always
home.
beat him. We always beat him in the regular season.
Hot take: Kansas City, big step back this year.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Their time is over.
Hashtag.
I'll take it. They could be traumatized.
Make a shirt out of that.
They should not have been 15-1 in real games this regular season.
And-
that was so unbelievable.
I was so happy they kept Travis Kelce around.
Yeah.
Good. Pay him money
Yeah.
and keep him on a roster
Yeah.
spot. He sucks.
yeah.
Yeah,
lost.
he's still open. That frustrates the heck out of me.
Oh my
He's
god,
always open.
That
unbelievable!
Texans game, he just like kept getting open in the playoff game.
It's like you forget about him on the field. How do you forget about him?
yeah.
But I think if you have a competent defense like Philadelphia showed it, he's nothing. He was nothing against us. Like he's just he's lost it. He's done. He's
Yeah.
a liability to his team now.
Yeah.
Distraction.
I'm here
More
for
of a
it.
distraction.
Here for
Yeah.
it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I was very happy he re-signed with them. Yeah.
Love that for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Baltimore is going to regress a little bit too. Man, like on paper they look great, but I think psychologically they got beat up a little bit with what happened with that and with their tight end, their stud tight end, and everything. I think that's a problem for a team to overcome.
Well, now they've got a rapist kicker. So
Yeah, and Henry's older now.
They're always going to be
last
decent
forever.
in the regular
Yeah.
season. It's like Lamar doesn't have more than one playoff win in him.
Yeah.
Nope.
And he's proven that over his entire career. He just doesn't.
and we've done it twice, right? We beat them twice.
Yeah,
twice.
twice.
Mhm.
We have
It's the
beat 'em
only
twice.
Yeah.
twice, yeah.
How, when your kicker's that big of a distraction, do you just keep him on your roster?
Right, just cut him.
Like,
such a
it's a
legend for
kicker.
that. I
know
Who
it's Butker,
cares?
but-
Matt Ariza's over here going, what the heck?
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, Bill signed a punter. I saw.
Did they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we signed
Robbins.
some shitty punter.
Well, he's a Michigan. He's a Michigan guy. So yeah,
Oh,
Well,
I'm
that's
in.
why he's a shitty punter.
yeah.
You don't want to hear his name anyway. So, you know,
Yeah, exactly.
how often did you hear Sam Martin's name?
Yeah.
4 times a season.
Yeah, don't punt.
Are they going to bring him back again on the cheap, or are they done with him?
Who's that?
Sam Martin.
He's gone.
I don't think
No,
he's
they're
coming
going to have these two cowards
Kamara
battle it out
and,
for a spot.
We actually did a shirt once that said punting is for losers.
Yeah, I like that. I got to get one of
Because they had
those.
games where they weren't even punting. It was great.
Just let Bass do it.
Did you guys do anything with Josh Allen's
MVP.
Do good, be good, go Bills.
Oh yeah, it's
whatever
our
it is.
second best selling shirt we ever did.
Nice.
Yeah,
Second.
yeah. Be
Is
good,
it-
do good. God bless, go Bills.
Is it all black?
Red, white, and blue.
Got it.
Bills colors. So
Check the vault.
Nice.
Got the
check
vault.
the vault. Yep.
Gotta go to the website.
26shirts.com/the vault.
Yes.
Josh Allen needs to speak into microphones more often.
Right.
Yeah, right.
He's good.
He made
He's
that
really
up,
good.
right? That was off the cuff. Like, did you guys see that interview about it? He said he just froze when he saw his parents, and everything that he said up there was just like just right there in the moment. He didn't really prepare anything.
What a
was
fucking
good.
stud.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That guy fucks.
we were watching the NFL honors, my wife and I, and when we saw he was actually at the event like ahead of time, we knew he was good. Like we started clapping and cheering in the living room, like he's gonna win, he's gonna win this.
Yeah.
I text our group.
And
that.
Lamar
I said
wasn't
everything.
there.
Yeah.
I think, you texted
Yeah.
us all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fait accompli. It was obvious.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's big the next 6 weeks. His wife's on the Tonight Show, I think tonight
Would.
or tomorrow.
Wait, are they married yet?
May
31st.
May 31st, Herb. Did you not get your invite?
Memorial Day.
I'll be there.
Did you not get your invite, Herb?
Did you see the thing that you just did with Michael B. Jordan?
Yeah, hot ones.
Hot wings. I've not
Hot
seen
wings.
it yet. Is it good?
It's really good. He asked her to like name 3 good things about Chiefs fans, and she struggles like after 2. She struggles through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Is he a Chiefs fan?
I have no idea, but I'm sure he was just. I only saw that question.
Oh, okay.
So I think the context was like, well, you're going to be marrying the best quarterback in the history.
She's
of
a hot one, I'll tell you that for
The only
free.
quarterback in NHL history, NFL history, right?
Wait, what?
That's my favorite meme. Every time it comes up.
The only quarterback in NFL history.
Yeah.
Mr. Haley Stein.
Hey, you know what's funny is how cool is it that the universe has been around 84 million years and we timed it to be here with Josh
I've seen
Allen.
that. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, let me rattle through some changes proposed in the owners' meetings, and then we can probably.
What if Josh did take her last name in their marriage? That would be something.
That'd be
Neither
like,
one
like
of
a
them are
Jack
gonna change
White
their
move.
name, I guarantee it.
That'd be badass.
He would have to.
No,
NFL would love it. They'd sell all new jerseys.
yeah, they sell all
It'd be
these new Steinfeld
No.
jerseys.
No, you actually have to buy the jerseys if you do that.
Oh,
That-
yeah.
that's what came up with
Well, I
the
thought
receiver
that's
for
just
the
if you
Bengals.
change your number, though.
No,
Wait,
remember
whoa,
Ocho?
explain this?
Ocho Cinco. Chad Johnson actually
Now
had
porn
to cut
star.
a check, I believe, to whoever was making their uniforms to buy the ones they had already produced because he decided to change his last name.
And then he changed it back to Johnson.
He did. Yeah, not the number. The number, you can do that pretty much. But if you decide you want to just out of the blue change your name, you owe the company.
Something tells me that Josh Allen has different rules than
I
Yeah.
think Bills fans would be like, all right, we're on board, 100%.
The NFL will be like, it's worth it because everybody that has an Allen jersey is going to be buying a Steinfeld
Yes.
jersey now. So
Hey, do you know if Bosa jerseys are available yet?
Oh, I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
I saw them. Yeah.
Okay.
I think the Ocho Cinco was a legendary move.
Oh,
And he
absolutely.
legally changed his name.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And he didn't even do
Branding.
it proper Spanish, which made it even better.
It just sounded so cool.
He's got to be
so
one of my
awesome.
favorite non-Bills players ever. Not for anything to do with even on the
Yeah,
field.
no, it's one of the best,
Oh, my
the
gosh.
most legendary moves ever.
Okay, you guys mentioned earlier that the tush push is
Saying.
Tabled.
table.
Gonna-
Yeah,
but
just
if they're going to make that rule change, it had to have been like now.
I heard it had to do with the wording. And they're trying to find a way to word it that'll make all the teams, because half the teams want it and half the teams don't want
Right.
it. And they're trying to make it work for everybody where it's like you can't do it within a certain amount of time or within a certain yardage or something. And they're just trying to find like that way.
How about this? If your quarterback's a little bitch, you can't do it. Ours
let him
isn't.
do it. Let
Ours
him do
isn't.
it.
Most of the league is. So, sorry.
I guess the thing that they were arguing was it's not the quarterback that they're worried about, it's the lineman.
Yes.
And the toll it takes on it. Like
Yeah.
Dawkins was talking about how it really takes it out of their legs and stuff, and it hurts them to do it. So
You're in an era where they've just kind of overcome the whole concussion crisis of the NFL. You're asking for trouble, and I think they realize that, but the opposite side is it's football.
there's no data yet.
I mean, when I played freshman football for the great Cameo East, our number one play was wedge. It was a tush push before it was a tush push. Everyone goes at an angle, and then the running back goes forward. That's all we did freshman football.
You guys did
was
the
a tush
flying
push.
V?
We did. That's what we did. I mean, so it's been around. It's just teams are now learning to exploit it, and we talked about that on our previous podcast or our future podcast, where players like goaltenders are just built differently, and the line, defensive line, offensive line, these huge mountains of men are not what the NFL had in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and even the 90s.
It is interesting because I remember in the early 90s there was a rule like assisting the runner. You weren't allowed to do that.
Right. Yeah.
You weren't allowed to do that. And now technically you can push the runner, but you can't pull the runner.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though
I've seen it.
Dion, God bless him, he's pulling Cook half the time.
Yeah.
But assisting the runner. And then I don't know when it was ever removed from the rule.
Early
book.
2000s.
Yeah.
It was
It,
like
sunsetted.
2004, 2006 or something. Because I remember that being a rule. You couldn't push him into the end zone. Push any runner into the end zone, yeah.
Before I get into the rules, does anybody know where Kirk Cousins is going?
Browns.
The couch.
Oh,
To the bank. His
What
whole
about,
career.
what about Pittsburgh?
I
Kirk
still
Cousins to Cleveland?
think Pittsburgh gets Rodgers. Stefanski, Browns coached Cousins in, I think, Minnesota.
makes sense.
So the Diana Rossini, one of the insider people, said something today about how she thinks Cousins is going to the Browns.
Well, the one guy said that
Weird signing.
he struck out on Watson.
Yeah, the owner did.
Yeah. Dude,
He
Cousins.
admitted that.
Yeah. Cousins,
Sure
Cleveland.
did.
That might work.
I know Jones
For them.
signed with the Colts.
Oh, Daniel Jones.
It just seems like the Colts are always like just looking for an old quarterback to run,
Yeah.
whether it's like Matt Ryan or Phillip
Yeah.
Rivers.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
These teams just hanging out in QB purgatory for years.
Kirk
I remember
Cousins
those
Kirk
days.
Cousins is
Can't relate.
brilliant.
is the smartest quarterback.
He's so
in
bad,
history.
but he's so good.
Yep.
Cousins?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's I mean, that guy just signs like contract after contract.
my God.
Good for
Yeah.
him.
Tens
Yeah.
of millions
He's
of dollars
still
to be
under
mediocre.
Yeah, he's still under contract with the Falcons, so they have to trade
They
him.
signed him to that contract, and then they
Yeah.
drafted a quarterback.
Yeah, that was
They
dumb.
gave him so
weird.
much
It was
money.
so weird.
Wasn't it like 90 million guaranteed or something stupid
I
or
think
more?
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Watson again. That's his effect on everything
Yeah.
now. That stupid
Yeah.
contract.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's my favorite thing is after the Browns signed Watson, then like every quarterback was like coming up, like whether it was Lamar or whomever, and their teams were like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
Fully guaranteed. It's
Fully guaranteed. For,
First
well,
rule.
this is after they knew he was a terrible person.
yeah, well,
That's the wild part.
ins- I mean, there's
And they
desperation
had
and there's
Baker
whatever
Mayfield,
that is.
who's now like the Bucks. I don't know, like borderline franchise quarterback. Like he's
I wanted the Bills to draft him so bad. I'm glad we got Josh Allen.
I
But
did
that
at the
year,
time, too,
I
yeah.
was so high on Baker
Yeah.
Mayfield, and then obviously he went first, so he couldn't. But like, I was so high on him going into that draft.
yeah, me too.
First rule change.
Glad we
Overtime.
didn't get him.
Yeah, me too.
Overtime. Each team will get a possession now.
About time.
I know.
Yeah.
Is that the Josh Allen rule officially?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't mind how it was. I thought that was better than you win a coin toss, you win the game, and their team doesn't touch it. But I'm okay with that in overtime. I think you actually
10 minutes. Both
Yeah.
teams get it.
Yeah.
If you score a touchdown or.
So you're 1 8-minute drive and a field goal away from winning the game.
right.
Right. That's what you're going to. Yeah.
Could you imagine if they did like a shootout where you have your kicker like go against the other kicker? And
I like that. Like a penalty shot, like horse.
you just keep going further back until
Field
someone
goal
misses.
kick or horse.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine what
These
it would
poor
be?
guys would be going to so many should be like sports therapists.
15, 20,
That's funny.
35, 45.
That'd be so cool though.
I mean,
The drama.
that would be something.
Is it college football now, or is it the UFL or whatever that does they trade off
College football.
they trade off 2-point attempts after
Yeah.
like the third
Yep.
overtime?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we're getting close.
Similar
Yeah,
idea,
we're
yeah.
getting close. And kicker would really suck.
That would be sweet.
I fucking hate
That'd be
kickers.
awesome. Or how like a quarterback like distance throw off or something. Like how far can your quarterback?
Oh, okay. I'll sign up for that. Yeah.
Turn it into the Pro Bowl games.
Yeah.
Right.
That was the coolest event ever when they did that. Where it was like early 2000s. They don't do it anymore. It would just be the quarterbacks had to throw it as far as they could.
Yep. Cordell Stewart.
They stopped at like 2004. They're like, we're just gonna throw somebody's arm out. Like,
Speaking of kickers, they are trying to make kickoffs a little bit more exciting Why are you shaking your head?
They're
going to move it to the 35.
I don't think it moves the needle.
They're moving the touchback to the 35.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
They're giving them 5 more yards
to entice them not to kick it out the end zone.
No.
So it's gone
Coaches
from
don't care.
The 20 to the 25 to now the 35.
Yeah.
It was a 30 to the 35, right? Wasn't it?
Correct.
It was
5
It
yards.
was the 20.
It was
the
the
30
20 for a while.
It was the 20. Now it's the 30.
Back
And
in
now
our
it's going to
day.
go to 35.
It was always a 20 when I was a kid. But yeah, I don't think I think coaches have, you brought it up, a strategy. You know what? It's not worth, depending on what time in the game it is, it's not risk kicking it and letting them break it for a touchdown. Doesn't matter.
I don't know. 35 is pretty.
I mean, you got to think about it. You only have to go probably 25, 30 yards to kick a field goal, which is 5 yards less than getting it at the 30. But
Right.
The 35 is.
that's
enticing.
I could see more teams kicking off this year for sure.
That's what they're hoping.
I like the idea of trying to get a kicker who can land it inside 5 yards of the end zone, and then you can pin someone deep with that. That's enticing too.
Yeah, you got to know.
Yeah, but then don't they have to let? Then can't they let it roll out the back though?
I mean, that's why you got to get a kicker who can get that backspin on it, so it doesn't do that.
Yeah.
There's a couple of guys out there who are really good at pinpoint like landings.
I know that there's like
skill.
injuries and stuff. I like the old kickoff.
Right.
I can't stand it that you have to announce an onside kick. I hate that.
That sucks.
That's tough. Yeah.
I was watching one of the UFL games this weekend, and they had it's like a 4th and 12 or something like that.
Yeah.
I hate that they even call it a 4th and 12. They should call it like some kind of special play because it's not 4th down. It's a different play.
Yeah.
That's clever, at least. I mean, it's something.
I like that better.
I miss. I mean, you could argue the Saints don't win the Super Bowl if they don't open halftime with a surprise onside kick.
Oh, yeah.
Like that was a huge piece of strategy that's just been removed from the game.
Right.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, I understand the reasons, but it just, I kind of mourn it a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They potentially are going to make games longer with approving the expansion of replay assist.
I'm fine with that.
I disagree on that one. Replay assist is snap judgment. They just dial down. There's no use for the challenge flag. The referees don't have to look at it. Replay assist will actually shorten the game up a little bit more.
Not if they weren't going to look at it in the first place.
True.
So this is what this says. Replay assist is going to look at 5 new penalties that can be overturned by the booth. Hitting defensive player, face mask, horse collars, tripping, roughing into the kicker.
I'm 100% okay with that.
Why isn't roughing the quarterback not in there?
Probably because it's really subjective.
Isn't roughing the kicker or no?
Well, I mean, I think what they're talking about almost is you can tell not so much the kicker, I think, at the punter, or is it really just the kicker itself?
Well, you're not going to hit a kicker on a kickoff.
That's what I mean. So, like, you're talking
Field
about
goal, punter.
Yeah, I mean, I think those are easy calls to make, and they can make them spontaneously, and you're going to get it right. I mean, what do we bitch about the most? We bitch about calls that are blown by human beings. We forget they're not
in
perfect.
Games that we lose.
Right, right, and that's what happens. And I was really impressed with replay assist last season with them just boom. Replay assist has come in less than 30 seconds. The call's been made. There's been an adjustment. We're moving on. I mean, that's really one of the biggest complaints by fans is they fucked up the call.
So the aspect of this proposal is that replay assist will not call penalties that weren't flagged on the field.
Correct. And
I'm fine with that as well too.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like they say, there's holding on every play. Yeah. So
I think universally though, the fans, regardless of what franchise you support, agree unanimously we want the call right.
So this is saying though that if the penalty is missed, that replay assist is not going to go back.
That's
and
correct.
Then
That's
call
fine.
the penalty,
which is fine.
Like I was saying, like there's holding on every play, so they're not going to like scour over every play and like was anybody holding? Was anybody holding? So it's more of just like if a referee, throws a flag, then they have the ability to basically pick the flag up. But you can't say like, oh, you should have thrown a flag here. You should have thrown a flag.
It's a hard enough job as it is.
But that's too bad. When there's a blatant face mask that they miss, and like a dude gets his head twisted around.
We're human beings. We often forget the fact that we're going to make mistakes.
But that's a safety penalty, though. That's a player's safety.
But it's great. But here's the deal. Now we can correct that. It takes a little bit. Just
said that it's not going to correct that.
No, I know that. But it's going to help other aspects of refereeing. It's going to take a little bit off their plate so that if they do, for the most part, screw up.
It sounds like this is really going to just recorrect referees' human mistakes.
Wait,
I think so, but you can't replay every single play.
Right, sure.
And just because like that's where the ball was and that's where the camera was, and so now you see that the know, somebody's like face mask got hit, but like it could have been something on the other side of the field. You can't just scour over every single play, every single player on every single play, and see if did they mess up, did they screw up. So
yeah, it went unnoticed last year. I don't think it made that much of an impact that it was a bothersome thing. I'm all for it.
Wait, Kyle, remind our audience who wasn't listening what the rule change we're talking about is here.
For you, Herb, we're talking about replay assist.
What's the rule change?
That now 5 new penalties can now be overturned by the booth. So they are going to be able to...
Like that infamous non-roughing the passer.
Against, like, the Brady one?
So
I was thinking Mahomes.
So the
Mahomes,
5...
the Mahomes ones,
The 5 new penalties that they're going to be able to overturn with the booth is hitting a defensive player, face masks, horse collars, tripping, and roughing and running into a kicker.
I'm all for that, actually. Because these are game-changing calls. And then we saw some of the most ridiculous roughing the passer calls this year.
Texans.
The Texans Chiefs. There was one against Brady. Obviously, he didn't play last year, but 2 years ago, that was like even Brady was like laughing at it.
Right.
There was some really, really egregiously bad ones that were called as roughing the passer that were just clearly not roughing the passer.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with that.
I got a just word of caution on the slippery slope towards the auto ref 9000 here.
Yeah, no, I don't want that.
Well, no, I don't necessarily agree with that because what they're going to do is it's instant audit. It's they throw the flag, and how many times have we sat around this table and complained about the refs and said things like, "Why are these refs not held accountable?" Which they may be, and we don't know it. It's in the background, but it's instant audit. Throw the flag, review it real quick. Were they right? Were they wrong? Let's not let it affect the game the way it shouldn't, and go from there.
It's just having a referee in the sky. You're having eyes in the sky.
I get it, but I think it's all just that and the digital chains now or whatever. It's all moving towards eliminating that human element. And like Dell's saying, like you want to scrutinize every single fucking play on the field then if that's going to happen. And there's the human, like what about the makeup calls we get when they blow one and they realize, oops, my bad. Like the Bills, as much as we like to say we get jobbed by the refs all the time, we get helped big time too by them. So it's like I just feel like there's
this year.
There's a give and take on.
We
it.
got the
But I think that whole thing, like Dell said, with we don't want everything being scrutinized. They're not doing that. They're only going to scrutinize the call. Like the call that was already made.
Yeah, if you screwed up.
Okay, but my original point, though, is that that's just this step.
I know. Terminator 2.
And then you start looking at, we got this, now we'll try this, and then we'll do this, and now we don't need refs, and everyone's going to love it.
But I'll say this. It's already freaking happening.
Yeah.
How many times this year, in the past couple years, will the refs like huddle for a second? They're like, after discussion, we were wrong.
Which is
like
fine.
That, and nobody gets upset about it. But it is the eye in the sky is being like, no, you fucking idiot. He wasn't pass interfering with him. You're wrong. Sorry, bud.
But pass
Pick
interference,
up the flag.
Is that one of them? One of the 5 that can be reviewed?
It's not.
So this is 5 new penalties. So this is in addition to last year's.
But I do think the eye in the sky has changed a lot of calls.
For the better.
The last couple years.
For the better. I don't think you don't hear a lot of people getting jobbed over the eye in the sky. The referee.
No, I don't think the eye in the sky is all knowing and all powerful.
One last point before you go to the next rule, but like that's where you're going to get a time saver. It's instant. It's instantaneous feedback right there and then.
Huddling. The last line of this is the NFL is limiting the scope of replay assist to objective penalties that can be overturned with clear and obvious video evidence.
There it is. Seems reasonable.
Yep.
Okay. Next. Thursday night games undergoing a slight change. I don't understand what this means. Is the league had to give 28 days notice. Now they're cutting it down to 21 day notice.
No, I'm kind of pissed about that one.
Flex any games between week 13 and 17.
What if I'm trying to go to Atlanta for a road game?
You personally?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I'm hearing 21 days before the game's kicking off that, by the way, it's getting changed to Thursday night from Sunday night. Are you kidding me?
your airline tickets are bought.
yeah.
and
Oh,
hotels
so less
booked.
time for you. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's
Now what am I supposed to do?
Don't plan to go on any games after week 13.
Deal. All right, next.
NFL modifies the uniform policy. If you love throwback jerseys, then you're going to love this one. NFL
right,
teams
in.
can now wear their throwback or alternate uniforms a total of 4 times
yeah.
per season. Under previous, it was only 3. Okay.
I'm in.
It should be
Whatever.
Why can't it be
What do
whatever
we
you
care? The
want?
Bills don't have throwback jerseys.
Well, right.
We're bringing back the 90s Bills jerseys.
Why are they holding back on the red helmets? God damn it!
Yeah, I know.
Just bring them out.
Isn't there some? Isn't
Okay, so what's the consensus here with red helmets and white helmets?
want red?
Bring them out. You
Want
got
the
it.
red?
It's our glory days.
If you
I
said
like
we
the
can
white-
wear them
Does
up to
anybody
4
not
times,
want red
let's do
helmets?
it.
I
You
like
got
the
Paul?
white helmet. It's sharp, but I think
Oh,
the
you
red
don't?
helmet
Oh.
would be
White
cool.
helmet.
We lived through that. I don't care. I don't care about the red helmets.
so you-
Because my entire life they had red helmets.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything significant. I mean, they went to Super Bowls. They didn't win any championships
Right.
with red helmets.
Yeah, but have you ever seen Josh wear a red helmet in a game?
He looks badass.
I like how you said it in a game. I was about to say, yeah, I saw him at the blue and red practice.
I don't want it as their main uniform, but as a throwback thing,
Nostalgia.
that'd be cool.
What about a blue helmet? They could use a blue helmet. I would
all
wear
right.
a
It's
blue
like
helmet.
too much like
I
UB.
could get down with the blue
The
helmet.
blue helmet with the black bill on there. That would be badass.
I'm a cranky
I'd
old
take
man.
a
I'm
look.
like, just stick with what you have.
Real quick, I want to shout out to a wonderful Ken Maurice teacher, Mr. Ray, who brought up the fact that, this is for you, Del, the Buffalo Bills were almost called the Buffalo Blue Devils.
Really?
Yeah, that was a serious name for them, to go before they went with the Buffalo Bills.
At least they didn't do that. That would've
Have
been-
we ever discussed the Tonawanda Cardex in this podcast?
Next podcast, Herb.
Yeah,
They played in the NFL.
They did. They
For
did.
one
They played
game.
one game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who?
The Tonawanda Cardex.
Tonawanda Cardex.
What the hell is this?
Yeah, it's
They got
Kardex.
I think they lost to Rochester in the NFL.
Jeffersons.
In the NFL.
How do you
In
play
like
one
1913 for one game, and then they were kicked out of the league.
I think they were
Did
actually
they,
based out of
did
North
they like
Tonawanda. I think,
Vontae
but they were
Davis had halftime, or what?
It was very loosey-goosey back then.
I guess.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Tonawanda had an NFL team for
Yeah.
one game.
Called the Cardex. Kardex.
Because they were named after like a paper company, and there was a sponsor was a paper company.
That should be our throwback uniform.
Yeah.
There you go, right?
Yeah.
Tonawanda Cardex. That's good.
We get the leather helmets on and everything.
I got the shirts ready to go. Let's do it.
First downs will be measured electronically.
That's fine.
Yeah, whatever.
Wait,
the
is
same
that
difference.
actually
It's not-
happening?
It doesn't
The
fix the
ref
problem.
still spots the
sweet.
ball, so it doesn't
fix the
solve
problem.
anything.
All right. Yeah.
It's a pat on the head.
The
It's a pat on
chain
the head.
crew really, well, they weren't measuring it after the last 4 or 5
no, I-
years.
I
They-
think-
they were just out there. For
I think the idea with the electronic though is to correct when it's not spotted properly. So like the ball will be able to see where it goes.
No, it's not. It's
Really?
removing the chain gang or whatever.
Yeah.
and using like lasers or whatever they're
How
doing.
stupid is that? The whole point is
It's not a chip in the ball. It's not
Why?
going ding 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 if you pass like the
why is it not a chip in the ball?
because they still have control then.
They put chips in golf
Tinfoil
balls
hat
and
comes
shit
out
now.
now.
You
They
know?
can still control it.
Well, because then you'd have to have like a marker on everyone's knees and elbows and everything, because you'd have to know exactly when their elbow's down before the ball crosses.
Can't the refs just see the yellow line? I mean, geez, I can see it so plainly.
Yeah, it's very obvious.
It's 2025. How come we can't have a yellow line in real life?
Yes.
I mean, come on.
Glasses really.
Yes, augmented reality glasses.
Yes,
they
see?
see the
Bring up
line.
Paint
Pokemon,
gang
you
out.
can do yellow lines.
There,
Okay.
we just fixed football.
Trivia. Sean.
Tonawanda Cardex.
Nope. You probably can see. I don't want you to see
almost
this.
spit out my drink. Sean.
What electronics company is the NFL pairing up with to make this happen? What,
EA.
did you see it? What is
No,
it?
EA.
That's your guess. Next.
That would be my guess too.
Samsung.
Close.
Microsoft. Right?
No.
Oh, what's that?
Herb, come
Google. MB Electricians. Or whatever. That's who's that guy that's our
MJB
sponsor?
Electric?
Yeah.
Call Mike.
I'll have to let Mike.
Company man. Company man.
Is it LG or
Mike just sponsored us for a whole new studio. Just so you know.
Sony.
Oh, okay.
Sony's Hawkeye technology
It's not
is the
Sony,
primary method for measuring first downs.
Good for them.
Okay. It'll be interesting to see what they put in
Sony's
this ball.
like, yeah, sure. You want a laser? We can do a laser.
Everyone's going to get pissed.
Kyle.
Sony now.
Just so you know, too, when we wrap up, speaking of trivia, it's a good segue. I have a little trivia, a couple questions I want to ask you
Excellent.
guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next rule. Playoff format is getting- Playoffs. They're going to allow it where wild card team can be seated higher than a division
Yes,
winner.
that's about time.
Agreed.
Oh, I didn't see that. That's a thing that's happening now.
Yep.
That's fair.
Passed.
Yep.
Based on record, then?
Yes.
Under this proposal, a wild card team could be seated higher than the division winner.
So that was actually voted on as yes.
Yeah. It mystifies us that it took that long for them to make that correction.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess. Like I hate anything. Almost anytime anything changes, but like that makes sense, I guess, because as long as you're getting an automatic bid in the playoffs doesn't mean you get to host a home game.
Correct.
Right. All right.
Well, it happened this year where the Vikings were they would have been a 3rd seed. Instead, they got a 5th seed.
Yes.
Didn't the Seahawks win their division at 7-9 like 10 years ago? And
Tampa Bay recently did not have a stellar record, and they won their division.
I think that's it for the rules.
Mike, trivia. What do you got for us?
He'll wait till Herb comes out. Well, I guess it'll be a good time to plug our sponsors, 26shirts.com.
Let's go.
And then Dr. Bob at Doug's Chiropractic. 2 locations, Harrisville and Worley, Genesee across from the cemeteries. Call 716-634-6272, or you can go on the internet and type in DUDZIK chiropractic.com.
Love you, Dr. Bob.
Yeah. Shout out to Dennis and his wife. Hopefully his wife makes a speedy recovery, and she can also get seen by Dr. Bob and help her out with that back problem.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Sean, remember that time you picked up Yub's Pizza for us?
Yeah.
I drove by the other day, and that place was fucking booming at lunchtime.
I was going to say,
unbelievable.
Must have been a funeral or something.
I told a guy where I work, I was telling him about a cheap, good pizza, and I'm like, oh, you should check this out. So he asked me the other day about it, and I haven't seen him since. I wonder, 1, if he got it, and if he did, if he got sick, or 2, he didn't get it, and I just haven't seen him.
10 scoots. How can you go wrong, right?
Yeah. Mike, were you here for that pizza?
I was not.
Have you ever heard of 10 scoots?
No.
Apparently it's $10.
Oh, okay. Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's some new it's new currency.
That's not a real thing.
Yeah, I didn't think it was either.
I've been using it all the time now. How many scoots does that cost?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Del, on 26shirts.com, what is your average scoot price for a shirt?
Let's do the conversion.
$29.99 scoots.
Okay, 30 scoots.
30 scoots. Just,
all right.
Just a shade under.
30 scoots. So what else do you get in your monthly subscription box?
You get the shirt, and then usually some kind of food item from a local vendor. Like this past month, we just worked with So Good Granola and their Bunny Blast granola. And
Bunny Blast, nice.
Yeah, very good.
Try that.
Easter, And then we've worked with Sinead's Popcorn recently and some of their different flavors that they have. And then oftentimes we'll have like an extra little, can't think of the right word, like doodad or something. And they're like some little extra like fun thing. Like I mentioned the wooden spoon before. We had some like New Year's stuff for the December box and everything. So
okay. Do
I'm
any
a terrible salesman? It's really cool, I promise.
Does any of the proceeds from the monthly subscription go towards any of the weekly shirts?
Yeah. Well, 8% of everything from the club level goes to the Punt Pediatric Cancer Collaborative.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What about the vault? I was going to ask you that. Do any of the vault proceeds go?
Yeah, everything you buy from our site gives back to something. So the vault, every family that we bring on, they get a 2-week campaign. So for their first week, they get a percentage of the vault sales tacked on to their eventual donation that they get.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't matter what shirt someone buys, it goes to that family. That's
right.
good. Okay, yeah, I like it. I like it.
Oh, okay. And then once that window for the 2 weeks is closed, do you guys, it's got to be impossible to do this. Do you guys like track a royalties for that shirt for that cause?
So no. So once like their 2 weeks is over, that's kind of like that's it.
They gone.
Yeah.
It's gotta be a better way to say that. But then we're moving on to the next beneficiary. So the vault is always churning for the most recent beneficiary.
Gotcha.
Brought on board.
Brilliant. I like it. Herb, how was your trip?
I just heard that James Cook put his house on sale.
No way. State your
Sure
source.
shit did.
Zabills inside info.
Somebody texted it
Is
to
it because
me.
he's moving to a bigger house in Buffalo because he got a big contract?
Oh,
It could be.
The optimist.
hey!
pessimist.
Drop that on our Twitter so we can be the first to report that.
Well, we are not the first to report it. News 4 has reported it.
All right, never
Just
mind.
after them, though.
They reported it 2 hours ago. Wow.
Hey, we were in the middle of a podcast.
This guy's a master of negotiations. What a 4D chess move. I'll sell my house. Now they got to do something.
Anybody can put their house on the market. You got to sell it, right? So
That's a good point.
I'm ready for trivia.
All right. So
Hey, well, hold on. Anything else before we get into anything else? Del, you got anything else you want to plug?
It's got to be
What's
something.
that hat? What's that hat you're wearing? That's a pretty nifty hat.
it's called Sword Script. It's a play on the the Sabres colors and everything. So it's our own little hilt design that we did.
Oh, wow, okay. I like it.
Yeah, thanks.
Nice.
Thanks. What to plug? I hate the Chiefs.
Well,
We all
I
agree.
hear you.
100%.
I hear you.
I'll buy that.
you come to the right place.
Hey, Michael.
Ready? All right. So my riveting trivia that I stumbled across today and I had to share. Now,
Do I need a pen and paper?
no, full disclosure, I don't have the actual numbers. I only have the top 10 rank. Fair?
Okay.
NFL. Top 10 most baby mamas.
Oh, I'm out.
Active
I
players?
I saw
Active
this.
players or
I saw this
No,
online.
this is
Antonio Cromartie has 9.
Hang on, this is active and former.
Okay.
So Antonio Cromartie is number 2 on
Tyreek
Eric
Hill?
Moltz.
Tyreek Hill is number 1.
Travis Henry.
Eric
Number
Moltz.
3.
There it is.
Eric Moltz.
Eric Molds is not on this list.
What? That's not fair.
I agree with that.
There
one.
is another former Buffalo Bill on this list.
Former Buffalo.
So you've already said Travis Henry.
I did.
So Travis Henry's in. And we have the top 3 so far. Tyreek, Antonio Cromartie, and Travis.
what position did the former? Can we ask that?
Running
Yeah.
back.
McGahee.
McGahee.
That's
Wow.
him.
I didn't think he was a.
What you talking about, Willis?
Yeah.
Right.
So he's number 6 on the list.
All right.
Willis,
Now-
you dog.
I will tell you this, just a
Applebee's.
little hint.
Okay. Yeah, give us a couple
One
hints.
of the people on the list who happens to be number 5 was mentioned in our conversation today prior. Not a Bill.
Jack Eichel.
Not a Bill. Or not a all football.
Mentioned in our
Kirk Cousins.
Nope.
Philip Rivers.
Nope. No, he has one baby mama, just a lot of babies. That's all.
Sean Watson.
Okay.
Not
It's
Watson.
baby mamas.
Deshaun Watson.
He doesn't actually,
Listen, man.
No penetration.
he's got a weird kick, man.
Actually, I missed one that's a former Bill. He's not listed here as a former Bill, but there is a second former Bill on here. Very short-term former Bill, but big name.
Antonio Brown.
No.
T.O. Wow.
T.O. He's number
T.O.'s on
T.O. is
there,
number
yeah.
9.
Thinking about guessing T.O.
So we have what? 1, 2,
They didn't list
3,
T.O. as a
4,
former Bill?
5 left.
You got the key to the city, man. Come on.
Yeah, what team do they have him listed under?
Disrespect.
That's how not
there.
memorable as
He's listed as a 49er.
Currently?
No, on
So
this
is this
list.
their original team? What's Tyreek listed as?
Yes, original team.
All right,
Okay,
give us teams.
Okay, team. The Raiders running back.
Original running back for the Raiders.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Josh Jacobs.
The gentleman
Good for
that was number 4. The gentleman that we mentioned earlier today is a former Bengal wide receiver.
Ocho.
Chris Henry.
Ocho Cinco.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now porn star.
Yeah. A former Baltimore Raven, probably, arguably the most famous Baltimore.
Oh, yeah.
Evans.
Linebacker.
Trent Dilfer.
No, linebacker.
Ray
No.
Lewis.
Ray Lewis.
Lewis, yeah.
He is too?
Yeah.
Well, for everybody he kills, he has to make a new one.
Running back.
Sorry, guys.
Wow. You seem surprised that it came out of your mouth. I love it. Fantastic. You got that.
All right, so what do we have left? We have 2 left. 2 left. They're both running backs.
Okay.
What is it with running backs?
One,
They're always fat.
Minnesota
they're fast.
Vikings.
Adrian Peterson.
Adrian Peterson. Last
Switch boy?
one.
Switch boy?
Last one.
They come fast, they leave quick.
That's right.
T-shirt.
Probably not.
T-shirt.
This says Los Angeles Rams, but he was St. Louis Rams.
Dickerson?
Falk.
Running back, Marshall Faulk.
Him too?
Wow.
Top 10 baby
what are
mamas.
these numbers on these guys?
I told
How
you
many?
I don't have the numbers. I just
Oh,
have
it doesn't tell you how many?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, they're not accurate because Eric Moulds had at least 9 baby mamas.
My mom
Were they
taught one of
baby
them.
mamas or people that he
Really? Yeah.
infected?
Oh,
Remember,
Oh,
he
right.
was
He had, what did he?
HIV, I think, or whatever, and he was
He had one of
knowingly
those
going around.
things.
Yeah,
The studdeds.
and that's what was. So anyway, that was my
Trivia for this week's Zabills.
Nice, wholesome trivia this week. I like that.
All right. Well, I think that'll conclude our episode. Thank you to Sean of Nerds of the Real Public.
Thank you.
Where can they find you?
everywhere.
Everywhere. Okay.
Everywhere you get your podcasts.
Okay. Where podcasts are available.
That's
You guys doing
nice.
any video podcasts, Jeff?
No, we don't want to show our faces.
That's why I never get on the pizza video.
I don't
it would
blame
freak
them.
the audience out way too much.
Well, like Herb, he's got a face for podcasts.
But the very first episode I recorded here, Kyle said that to me, and I said, "You know what? Fuck your YouTube. I'm not going."
And to Del Reid, thank you so much for coming in again.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was a good
Thank you,
time.
26shirts.com, for everything you guys do over there. And
Go Bills.
go Bills. Folks, I will say this. We do have a guest coming in the next couple of weeks who is a former SEC champion inside linebacker. Coming in
Kyle,
the studio.
Can you give us a school?
He went to Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Yep, Roll Tide.
Saban question's going to be flying.
Dude loves to talk. He loves to fish. So we kind of,
You're giving me some hints here. I already asked if it was Reggie Ragland, and it's not.
No, he played it during the 01-05 era.
Oh, wait. No.
So, all right,
Okay,
you
what-
ponder that.
Yeah, okay.
Was he a first-round pick?
He didn't play in the NFL.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm out.
Yep. All right, go
For that, I'm
Bills.
out. Go Bills.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
ZaBill's Podcast is a presentation of Kmart Productions, sponsored by MJB Electric and Dudzik Chiropractic. Thank you for listening, and if you haven't, please follow, rate, review the show. It helps with the algorithm. ZaBills is executively produced by me, Kyle. Executive sound engineering by yours truly, also me. Fundraising, also by Kyle. All artwork executively produced by Avery and Mark Rochon. What the heck is this? All music and lighting executively produced by Kyle. That's more like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Please drive carefully, arrive home safely. Good night. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
He
Including
did
on this podcast.
correct.
He's
Yeah.
under a microscope just because of like what happened to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's handled it pretty well.
Yeah.
He was very well spoken. I thought he did a good job.
Herb, are you going to participate in this?
What is it?
This is the preview.
We're doing a 2-minute preview, just
do a-
recapping what we just talked about.
Just to let them know what they're about to hear.
Okay. Do you want me on it?
Yeah, why not? And Del, if you want to participate one more time, figure we can do another joke or something.
I feel like they asked Hamlin too many of the same question, though.
Yeah.
They're like, what is your foundation about? What does your foundation do? What do you do with your foundation? It's
Yeah.
like,
It was
like, yeah, we get
a little
it.
repetitive.
His foundation's great. I think it's great.
We're glad you're in Buffalo. We're
Yeah.
glad that you're glad you're in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Okay. Sean, how you doing?
Kyle, how's it going, buddy?
Good. Here we are. We today have a special guest. Del Reid was very nice to treat us with his presence for the third time, second in studio.
Former Buffalo Bills fan of the year and 26 shirt co-founder. Founder, right? It was your idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know why I said co-founder.
Hi, everybody.
I'm the other co-founder.
Okay, we dropped the ball on this one, Sean. Where's our mojo?
Can we retake?
We can.
Let's retake it. It's terrible.
Okay.
Sorry, Del. I've shortchanged you like 3 times.
It's all
already.
good. Ken Maurice, I don't expect much.
Oh, I walked into that one too.
You'll be on the Wall of Fame one day, right?
Never. I'll decline.
Oh.
You know
Hey, what
this
year
is.
did they induct you into the Hall of Fame over there?
Last year.
Yeah.
Last
Whoa.
Oh, nice.
Corridor of
Nice.
Honor.
Oh.
Yes.
It's a lot of syllables.
I walked
Yeah.
right by it. Took a picture for the podcast. I'm like, you see this guy before?
When did you send that?
It was over the summer. They had a summer band camp concert, and I was walking. Never walked through Cameo West, but I was there, and your picture was on the wall. I'm like, shit, Del Reid.
This
I'm
guy
like,
can't
look at
get
that.
away from him.
No,
You know
it was
what?
good. It was great.
This is going to be in the outtakes.
Oh, jeez. All right, whatever.
Did you listen to the other episode?
I did.
Did you
I liked it.
Did you like how I
Yeah.
put that shit at the end?
Oh, yeah, I did.
All right, we'll do that though.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, and 3.